In the context of bodyweight training, understanding how much we weigh is going to be an important variable, especially as our training goals become a little bit more sophisticated. We are, after all, using our body as resistance, and so, on a fundamental level, we should know what that resistance is. I mean, we wouldn't walk into a weights area in a gym, grab any dumbbell and just start lifting. So today we're going to go through why we as calisthenics athletes should weigh ourselves, the key things to consider, both the physical and the mental side as well, and how this can be the difference between hitting and not hitting our goals. And if you like what you see, make sure to hit that like button as well, because it really helps out the channel. There's always an elephant in the room whenever we talk about calisthenics athletes' performance, and that is strength to weight ratio. It's far too big of a variable to ignore, and as most of our goals will be strength-based, the weight of our bodies will influence our ability to progressively overload our exercises. But as always, there's far more nuance to this than at first glance, especially when we consider that sometimes alongside our strength goals, we may have the goal of deliberately changing our body weight. Calisthenics presents us with a very interesting conundrum. We need to be light enough to do the thing, but we need enough muscle, aka mass on our bones, in order to make the thing possible. And moreover than this, the muscle needs to be in the right place. Building bulkier legs, for example, will make most calisthenics skills harder to learn. When it comes to managing or changing our body weight as calisthenics athletes, I'd recommend that whatever we do it extremely gradually and slowly. Again, we are literally the resistance here, so wild swings in our body weight will have an outsized impact on our performance. That is why if you have the extra large pizza the night before, it will affect our push-ups the next day in a way that it probably wouldn't if we were going to do a deadlift. In fact, actually mass moves mass, so getting heavier will actually make it easier to deadlift. But changing our body weight gradually allows us to get the best of both worlds. If we drop our weight but drop it slowly, we'll need to train hard, we'll need to sit in a slight calorie deficit, and doing it this way will reduce the risk of losing loads of muscle as we get lighter. If we want to increase our weight, again, we'll need to train hard, but now we need to slowly get to a caloric surplus, and this way the risk of piling on unwanted fat will be mitigated. If you want a general ballpark figure, I'd aim for a weight change in either direction of no more than a kilo to about 1.5 kilos every 4 to 6 weeks. That's 3.5 pounds for those on the wrong side of the pond. And weighing yourself will form a big part of how we measure that. Now, something to consider in all of this is the mental side of what we see on the scale. And I don't mean anything clinical here. I'm not talking about anything disorderly or any obsessions. If you do have any one of those, you really should get yourself some help from a professional. What I mean though is something a little less insidious. The effect that measuring our weight can do if we try extremely hard to change our weight, but we don't see the results that we want, and how that might make us feel. There's an argument for not weighing yourselves, training hard, and just seeing how you feel just generally, which might be fine. But if you're looking to get yourself that first pull-up, or you're looking to learn how to front lever, these goals are going to be heavily influenced by how much we weigh, and having a level of ignorance around that will hurt our goals ultimately. As bodyweight athletes, we're always going to be more sensitive around the number that we see on that scale, especially if it's a number that we don't want to see there. I, for one, recently got injured, and I went through a rut where all of my goals just backslid, to the point where I didn't want to see my physique or check my weight at all. It can make us feel a type of way when one of the biggest factors in our training goal is our weight. But instead, try to detach yourself from this measurement, because the number we see on the scale does not define you. It's literally just one of many measures that we'll use on our road to hit our calisthenics goals. More to the point is, not only are there some phenomenal heavy calisthenics athletes out there that can do ridiculous things despite being on the heavier side, but also whatever weight you are, working to improve your health is always going to be a good thing. In terms of how often to weigh yourself, I don't think daily is absolutely necessary. I personally weigh myself about 3 times a week and always aim to get a reading in the morning. Weighing yourself at the same time of day will help to take away any intraday fluctuations such as water weight or whatever meal you have affecting your weight. We have so many apps and websites that bombard us with information, not all of which will be accurate, and our weight will be influenced by so many different factors. My 2 cents is that the more general your bodyweight training goals are, the less often you need to weigh yourself. So somebody who works with a calisthenics methodology but only really cares about getting a bit of exercise into your day, then maybe even once a month will be enough for you. But as you start to aim towards higher tier goals, the more regularly you will need to check the scale. Not only because there are so many different variables that can affect our weight, but also because the progressive overload we'll need to implement to achieve our goals will be more sensitive to our weight changing. For example, if we wanted to increase our weighted pull-up by 4 kilos, but our body weight had gone up by 1 kilogram, that would represent a 25% increase on a goal we were already struggling to achieve. With all of this in mind though, one thing I will say is that looking at your weight in isolation is a pretty useless metric. Our weight should be used in tandem with quantitative metrics such as our height and body fat percentage, but also qualitative metrics such as just how we feel. It's for this reason calisthenics training, in my opinion, is superior for inherently helping all of these metrics converge in a way that just generally means we don't have to focus on just our weight or just where particular bits of muscle is coming on a particular part of our body. With bodyweight training and how all the different parts of our body have to work in tandem together, we have all of this built in. And so if you want to see what calisthenics does to our body over time, then check out this video right here.